Hello. This video will demonstrate how to use the team creator and editor function for Pro Strategy Football 2020. This will allow you to make your own leagues, conferences, divisions, teams, players, uniforms, end zones, etc. The software you see here is part of the beta, so the actual release might end up looking slightly different, but the process should be the exact same. So we will go to Leagues Editor, and I have a bunch of leagues in here, but we're going to create our own from scratch. So you select New League, and you can either do standard 32 teams, which I'm selecting here, and you will see that it's the standard format that professional football uses today, with the NFC, the AFC, East, North, South, West format, and this will also have a schedule built into it. We're going to go back here, and we are going to create one from scratch that is experimental, which is custom. I can make it any size, as many teams as I want. So we will select that, and we will call this league Test up here. This is, at the moment, this is it's a custom format, and there is no schedule. So this would be for quick play or exhibition play only, at least at this time. League rules is you can modify the league rules for your given league. Edit teams and players. We'll get that to the moment. Image sets, default. We don't want default image sets. We're going to create our own images. We can, but we're going to create our own images, and I'm going to say new image set. You have to make a folder, and we will call it test. Okay, so now test is a current image set. There are no images yet, but I will explain that momentarily. So we can go to edit teams and players. Actually, before we do that, let me go back here. Let's go to conferences. You will see in the league editor for conference, it has a default one conference. It's called PFC1, and it comes with one team. If we select edit, we can, let's say we'll call this the NFC, and we want 4 divisions. Well, there's a generic one the generic team that comes with the division that initially comes with creating a league from scratch. But let's add divisions, and you'll notice that when I click add, you'll notice some common division names used, and those come up by default. So now we have, I call it the NFC. There's one team that's generic in here. We'll look at that in a moment. But you see 1, 2, 3, 4 conferences. If we come up here, we can add a conference, and we will call it the AFC, and we just add divisions, and they have some default names that should look familiar. So now we have all of these conferences, these 2 conferences and 4 divisions in each conference. Let's say we made a mistake. We don't want this. When we can delete it. Now, when we do, if there are any teams in there, you're going to blow them out as well. Okay, I deleted a conference, or a division, excuse me. So I just added one back in, and I went with the last one I had. Now, when we select teams, you will see up here, NFC, East, North, South, West, AFC, East, North, South, and West. There are no teams except for the very first one. And if you double click on the team, we can change the name. Let's call it the City of Dallas, abbreviation DAL. Mascot, we'll call it the Cowboys. Whoops. And you can put in the coach. I'm going to put in me. Now, if you click Quick Set Attributes, you can quick set the entire team where everybody has a general range of ratings. So let's say the Cowboys are good. So I select good, do it, and everybody on the team has a rating for 7 out of 10 for everything. It's a quick way of just making something blanket. Now, if you come over to next here, now if I wanted to delete this Dallas team, I click on this X and I would blow the team out. If I click next, it gives me a selection of the team's information, like a wear color jersey at home. You click on it. It's white jersey at home. You can make any kind of you can make any kind of toggle here just by clicking. Go to next. Offensive emphasis, balance favors passing, heavy passing. You can make it whatever you want. And again, here's a quick set attributes. Let's say everybody is best. It just made everything a 9 for discipline, ball security, red zone offense, 2-minute warning. Now you can go in here and manually make anything you want, make it anything you want. Go to next. Now this is the defense information. Let's say we want both 3 and 4 and 4-3, and they favor a zone defense and quick attributes. Everything is below average. I'm just making things up. It's just a quick way of generically assigning a team. But again, you can go in individually and make the ratings whatever you want. Select next. Now you've got your players. Double click on a player and you can name them anything you want. I'm just going to call this person Thomas. There's a jersey number, their age, round taken, and overall pick. If you want to look up what they actually went in the professional draft, round 2, pick 104, you can put that in. You can enter in there the college. And here is quick set attributes again, where I can, let's say I'm making everything on this quarterback a 7. Okay, everything's a 7. Fumble percent, they just leave as a generic 2%. Save. Okay, I just saved somebody called Thomas. Now let's say, and these are all the offensive players. I can scroll up or down and you can see all the various players that you can modify. Now let's say I want Collier to be the starter, not Thomas. If you come over here to manage and I click on Collier up, Collier is now the starter, Thomas is the backup. Select next. Defensive players is the same basic information. You can edit players' names, jersey numbers, etc., etc. Hit next again. Here are your special teams players. You can edit their information. And now we're back to square one. Now, I'm going to save this league down here, save as, and I'm going to call the league test. Now, when it comes to editing uniforms, select UI colors and images. I will hit this. We'll call the team Dallas. I'm just going to make a modification just so you can see. And I'm just randomly clicking colors. Okay. Now, when you click Save UI Colors and Base Name, you are going to write to your hard drive the information for Dallas, for their team name and their colors, etc., etc. Now you go to UI helmets. You can, these are the existing helmets as they are in the game, but I can make my own by clicking there, and I want the helmet to be red, and I want the label to be yellow. Okay, now I can name this team anything I want. There is a 5-letter limit, so I'm just going to say Dal. Okay, Dal for Dallas if you wanted to use this. Save the helmets, and you need to save every time because you're going to be creating a graphic image of the helmet that you are designing, and you want to save it for everything you work on. End zones. Okay, let's say we want yellow and blue. I'm just making up colors. And the left end zone, we're going to say Dallas. And the right end zone, we're going to say Cowboys. Okay, Dallas, Cowboys. Save end zones. It's very important. Save everything you do. Uniforms. Okay. They're showing the uniforms that come in by default, but we can, these are existing, excuse me. This is the existing uniforms in the system, but if we wanted to make our own, we can, I'm just making up colors, and you can shoulders, neck, the side, the numbers in the outline. You can change all of that. Save player sprite sheets. These are sprites, these are little graphic images, and they're going to have all the various uniform colors that we modified. You want to save all of that. So we save that and dismiss. Now, I've already saved this league as test. I'm going to override. You can just, at this point, just click save since you've established the league. Now, go back into teams. You want to add a team. Let's say you want to add an NFC East. Hit add a team. It's going to give you a bogus name, but we will call it New York Giant. Whoops. NYG Giants Jones. I'm just making up a name. Okay. Save. Go back into teams. Save every time you're done, because if you don't and you back out, you blow out all of your work. Now, here's another feature that's really neat. Copy team from other league. If you select that, it'll say no league loaded, but up here, select league. It gives you every single league that you have saved that you have used in the past. So I'm going to go to 64 classic teams, and I want, let's see, the 1960 let's use the modern day Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, 2017. I want the 2000. There's the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, but you'll notice that the helmet is not what it was historically. I'll get to that in a moment, but if you click on it, you can see I've brought over from another file all of the information for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, all the players, everything came over. You'll also see to the extreme left it says New York, and to the extreme right it says Dallas. Now, if you were to click where it says New York up here, you're now editing here, New York. If you click back, you are editing Dallas. Okay? You know what? I didn't save Philadelphia. Go back into Philly. Okay. But the thing I wanted to explain here is this. Here are the Eagles. I haven't saved them in yet. Let me go ahead and save it as part of the league. Okay. Now, the thing about the Eagles is don't get confused with these arrows over here to try to edit more information on the Eagles. You have to use what I'm circling here, the previous and next, for the given team. If I were to go here, this is not next. This gives me Dallas. Okay? So let's back out. You get that basic idea. I'm going to save the league. Now, if you are going to have custom uniforms, logos, etc., if you have already you create them, if you're creating through a paint program or using somebody else's graphics, you'll need to put them in the game. And here's how you do that. On the bottom left here, I'm going to type in Windows. It's Shift 5, the number 5, which will give you the parenthesis, the percentage logo, local app data, and again, Shift 5 for the percentage. And you want this folder, local app data. Click it, and you want to scroll to your game, PSF 2020, in that directory. Go to images, and you will see for the test league there is a folder here that we created for the graphics folder for the league that we're making called test. Now, if you remember, we put in the Dallas homemade graphics. You'll see them here. You want to take the new graphics that you have to replace the Dallas ones, and you have to name them the exact same thing. So Dallas, but then you'll say end zone right you have to rename your end zones the exact same file name, the colored jersey, the white jersey, the helmet. You have to make sure that your new files to replace these have the exact same name. Well, I've already thrown together. I'm going to highlight all these files and I'm going to copy them. I have already created some logos, or have some logos that have already been created. I'm going to go into test and I'm going to paste. It's going to ask me if I want to replace. I'll say yes. And so they have the exact same file name. There's Dallas, all of their information. So now if you go back into the game, I'm going to go ahead and save again. Let me back out all the way. Yes, back out all the way. And if I go to Quick Play, I'm going to select this league that we just created called Test. Okay. And I'm going to go New Quick Game. And I'm going to select Dallas. Now these are the generic teams that we built, and these are the generic uniforms. I'm going to select Dallas. And you see that Dallas has the Cowboy logo. And I will select it. And there you go. There's the Cowboys helmet and there's the Cowboys uniform. So I hope this video helps you to create your own teams, your own leagues, any way you want. Thanks for watching.